If you've got animals like this, then there's a good chance you want to keep them in or protect them with something like this, prefabricated mesh. Today's video is a really short one about an important topic, and that is tensioning your prefabricated mesh to make it do its job, but not overstrain it and weaken it. So how tight should prefabricated mesh be? Well, it shouldn't sag between your posts, that's for sure. A span should stay rigid. And it should spring back when hit. And there's the magic word, isn't it? Spring. You see, prefabricated mesh is not a solid, impenetrable barrier. It's a trampoline. It bounces things off. It's soft enough to move, but not too far. So how do you get it just right? Well, there's a whole lot of myths around these things. See this little bend here? That's sometimes called a tension crimp, but it's actually a whole lot more, and it's led to some big misconceptions in straining up mesh. So what's the deal with these crimps? What are they there for? Well, let's find out. Now, prefabricated mesh has two types of wires. Most of you will know this, but it's worth revising. We've got our line wires. These take the place of your horizontal wires in a normal fence. And then you've got picket wires. Now, these take the place of little pickets or tiny posts in the fence line and prevent animals from pushing their way between these line wires. You can get a range of different spacings, both in your line wires and in your picket wires. But typically you want them to remain a square. You don't want them to be pulled out of shape. Now, fences can be pulled out of shape, whether it be by pinning them in a little ditch like this to stop the goats getting out. It's always goats. Or fences like the one over my shoulder that disappears over the brow of a slope. The top and the bottom line wires will be under different tension in this fence. If it wasn't for these ingenious little crimps, the picket wires would move according to that change in direction, the squares would deform, and the fence would be much less effective. And you can see the amazing way that these crimps allow a fence to adapt to the terrain with an extreme example like this, where we've got a stake that has been put in to pin the fence down into a hollow less than a metre from the post, and still the picket wire lines up perfectly. Still not convinced? Well, let's check out the specs of the wire and then put it to the test. All right, so what are we up to? Well, we're going to use the fence stay test bench, which is basically a steel frame with a bottle jack and a crane scale at one end to put this wire under the correct tension. Now, one of the myths out there, one of the myths that is destroying perfectly good wire, is that you have to strain up prefabricated mesh until the tension crimps are pulled straight. The crimps are not there to be a tension gauge. You can use a tension gauge on your strainers if you want to. The tension crimps are there for the performance of the wire. So now what I want to find out is how much of the amplitude of crimp is actually removed from good quality 2.5mm high tensile prefabricated mesh when it's strained to the correct tension of 1.8 kilonewtons, which is almost 180 kilos. Now, the wire we're going to be using today is good quality. It's an Australian manufactured Murray prefabricated wire. It's made in New South Wales. It's got heavily galvanised wire up to the Australian standard. It's got 2.5mm line wires in the middle and 2.8s top and bottom. I've stripped out one of the middle line wires off an old roll, and we're going to see how this wire behaves when it's tensioned up to the recommended tension rate for 2.5mm high tensile wire. I'm going to be using a piece of flat steel and some digital calipers to measure the deflection of one of these crimps. I'm going to measure it before and after straining it up to the recommended strain tension for this wire. Okay, so I'm measuring the third crimp in from the spiral fast directly opposite the fence stay sticker. I'm going to get my piece of steel as flat as I can on the wire, and then with my other hand open the verniers, 6mm exactly. Now the results are in for unstrained wire. From the bottom of this piece of metal to the top of the crimp that was resting on it, it's a distance of 6mm. Now what I'm going to do at the end is take away the thickness of this piece of steel and the thickness of the wire, which should just leave us with our amplitude of crimp, and we'll see if there's a difference between the amplitude when it's unstrained and when it's strained. So we're going to check the amplitude of one of these crimps when it's not under tension, and then we're going to tension this wire up to just over 180 kilos, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to check the same crimp for its amplitude again and see how much of the crimp is removed by correct straining. We might be surprised. I've never done this before and I'm keen to find out as well. So on with the speed dealers, and let's start tensioning our wire. Helps if you turn the crane scales on. Okay, let's go. $145 kilos, 167. All right, so we're up to 187 kilos. I'm happy to leave this wire sit here just for a minute and let it play out. I'm going to go and get the gear and we're going to check how much amplitude has been taken away from the same crimp that we measured earlier when it wasn't under tension, and we'll see if the myth of removing the crimps is true. All right, so same crimp, directly opposite from the fence stay, 1, 2, 3 down. I'm going to put my piece of steel on here and I'm going to open my verniers. And we have 5 millimeters. So some of the crimp has been taken out with correct tensioning, but we still have a significant amount of crimp there. Let's check the maths. We had wire that's 2.5 mil diameter sitting on a 1 mil steel plate. That means we had 3.5 mil of material. The distance between the top of the crimp and the bottom of the steel plate when it wasn't under tension was 6 mil. And when we tensioned it up the same as we would tension up ordinary plain 2.5 mil wire, that distance shrunk by 1 millimeter. It went down to 5 mil. If we take away the combined height of the wire and the plate, we get our deflection of 2.5 to 1.5. That means that even if we were to take this wire up to its absolute maximum recommended strain tension, we would only lose just under 40% of the crimp. 60% of the crimp should still be there under the maximum recommended strain tension for that type of wire. Now let's think about that another way. If I took this fence with 13 line wires up to a recommended strain tension for each of these line wires of 180 kilos, I'd have more than 2 tons hanging off that end assembly. I'd be weakening my fence just so I can feel good about how hard I can strain my wire. Leave the tension crimps in the fence, tension the fence up to a nice trampoline, and you're in business. So there you go, science and stuff. Next time someone tells you to strain all the crimps out of your prefab mesh, send them this video. And if you like this kind of content, don't forget there's something new every week. Hit the subscribe button. It's a free way to support the channel, and I'll catch you next time.